Hi, I'm Veronica Adeka, and welcome to Beauty and Fashion Talks here on Arise News. Join me as we chat about the latest in fashion news and beauty. Be sure to keep up with us as we stay on top of trends and key players in the industry within Africa and around the world. Give a woman the right lingerie and she can indeed conquer the world. I am sure you've heard that, indeed. Today's show is all about the defining factor of that perfect outfit with our undergarments. And to discuss that, we have two amazing guests who will be sharing with us all about choosing the right underwear for any outfit. First, I'll be speaking with Joy Adesanya of Shhh Lingerie about the business of this important fashion item in every woman's wardrobe. And then my next guest will be Seun Balogun of Brief Essentials, and she will be answering all those undergarment questions we all want to know. Of course, as always, I will be updating you on the latest fashion and beauty news around the world. So don't go anywhere because Fashion and Beauty Talks will be right back. Winnie Madikizela Mandela had the courage to speak out when others couldn't. She spearheaded the anti-apartheid movement and was the face of the struggle. She utilized her platform and wore traditional outfits when others labeled it as politically taboo. Winnie's sense of fashion reflected her African roots with her jeweled beads and boldly colored head wraps. Madikizela Mandela's funeral, currently taking place in Soweto, attendees were seen wearing head wraps reminiscent of how Winnie wore hers as well. We've also seen the likes of Lupita Nyong'o and other celebrities bearing head wraps on the red carpet, a declaration to their homeland. In other news, 2 weeks later than initially planned, Saudi Arabia has hosted its first ever Fashion Week. This Saudi Arabian edition of Arab fashion offers exclusively seen now buy collections and pre-collections. Until this week, it had been hosted exclusively by Gulf Fashion Capital in Dubai. The shows are not open to the cameras, and attendees remain women only. Recently, officials found bacteria and animal waste in $700,000 worth of counterfeit cosmetics. Seized during an LAPD bust at the Fashion District, police said a task force hit 21 locations in the Sante Alley shopping area Thursday and found that all of them were selling counterfeit name brand makeup products. Photos tweeted by LAPD Captain Mark Reyna show the makeup stand selling brands like Anastasia, MAC, and Kylie. The cosmetics seized during that bust were tested, and officials found that high levels of bacteria, including traces of animal feces, amongst other things, were there. I couldn't agree more with you, Captain Reyna's tweet that said the best price is not always the best deal. British fashion house Burberry. On Friday, they appointed Gerry Murphy, who is currently the chairman of Tate & Lyle, as its new chairman, completing a series of changes at the top of the company in the past year. Murphy will take up the role after Burberry's annual shareholders meeting, which will hold in July. He will replace Sir John Peace, who is to step down after 16 years in the post. We wish him all the best. It's time now for a really short break, but don't touch that dial because I'll be speaking with Joy Adesanya of Shhh Lingerie. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss out. Welcome back to Fashion and Beauty Talks on Arise News. I'm Veronica Adeka. Lingerie plays a big part in how we carry ourselves. And my guest, Joy Adesanya, she's the CEO of Shhh, a premium lingerie brand set to redefine sensuality, and she'll be telling us why. Here she is in the studio, Joy. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. So I'm really excited about talking to you about this because we talked a little bit before you came on, and I was just saying that in the arena of lingerie and undergarments, it's interesting. It caters to women, but it's being ran by more men. You know, in fact, they control most of the manufacturing companies are ran by men. But now there has been a big shift, and a lot of women are taking the place of really owning manufacturing and distribution and the sales of lingerie undergarments as it relates to women, which I think is amazing. And now we have you know, you've set up this amazing company here in Nigeria, lingerie to sell to women. And, you know, I want to know, how do you feel about being part of this global shift with lingerie and women as far as you taking part as an entrepreneur?
Thank you, Veronica. For me, it's very empowering because, like you said rightly, a lot of the manufacturing companies and lingerie companies and brands were owned by men.
Yeah.
But who better to understand what a woman wants than a woman
I know,
herself? So for me, it was just basically looking at a way that I can contribute positively to that market. And I saw that there was definitely a gap here in Nigeria. And my business was birthed out of frustration, being that I was born and raised in the UK and then coming to Nigeria and wanting to buy in lingerie. There was no lingerie outlet that I could go to and pick up quality brands.
And that's interesting because, you know, lingerie is essential.
Exactly.
It is, you know, it's an essential part of every woman's wardrobe.
Yes.
We need it, you know, from when
we
we're
do.
teenagers. And,
Yes.
you know, being in the UK, like you rightfully said, you know, you can easily pop into a store and just pick up and try on a few things. And so I can understand the frustration of being here and having to probably wait until you travel or order to create that. But it's one thing to think about something and be frustrated about it. And it's another thing to actually take action and set up shop.
Yeah.
So what really prompted that move?
It was a light bulb moment for me. I was in Atlanta and I was actually shopping for lingerie in Victoria's Secret. And a light bulb just came up in my head and I was like, why don't we have this in Nigeria? Why don't we have this ambience? Why don't we have this service? Why don't we have these kind of products?
Yes.
And for me, I came back and I started doing my research and it took me about 3 months. And I realized that a Nigerian woman would love to have something like this here. Because then you're bridging the gap. You know, it stops you from waiting for someone to come over or jumping on a plane to go and buy this. So therefore, I started putting things together and I got brick and mortar and birthed Shhh.
And then here you are.
Here
You now
I am.
have created this amazing retail platform. So tell us about some of the brands and what goes into selecting the specific brands that you cater to, because I know that with lingerie, there's so many different sizes and pieces and colors and shades, and now you are catering to Africans, you know, so our shades are completely different, even though we are still brown skin. So how do you determine what comes into the store?
I mean, initially when I started, I made the very big mistake of keeping it within a certain cup size. And I realized that the African woman and Nigerian woman were more voluptuous. And were more fuller busted. So a lot of the items that I brought, I had to change based on research. And I also noticed that we also like a lot of my customers like padded bras.
Really, that's really interesting because I would think that if you are heavily endowed, as we like to say,
you would
that
like
you would actually
less
just
padding. Exactly, but no. People are under the conception that the more padded, the more it gives you a fuller look, the more it holds your breast up, and so therefore when they were coming to the store, we were having different requirements. But over time, I've been able to understand what the customer is looking for and cater to that. And also, I didn't want to stock pieces that were just your everyday wear. I wanted sensual pieces. I wanted pieces that even when you wear it as a woman, it adds to the beautification process.
So even if it's serving its needs, its necessity, the need, it is still, what is the word? It is still enhancing you and giving you positivity about your body image. Per se as a whole. And so tell us what the process has been as far as like your ordering process, if somebody comes into the store, the customer care that you offer, because it's like you said, it's more of an ambiance, you said. What made you decide on this is the avenue we'll take? And is it mid-luxury? Or is it high-end luxury, your price points?
So it's mid-luxury. And for me, customer service is very important. I find that in Nigeria, we're lacking it in a lot of different brands and a lot of different hospitality industry as well. And I felt that if we can capture the customer from an emotional appeal, and then so we've got the customer for life. So when you come into my store, I don't throw a bra in your face. I take it from the emotional standpoint and I tell you the benefits of having that bra in your life. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's for a partner, maybe it's just to feel sexual, and therefore you start to buy into the idea of buying that bra, or buying nightwear, or buying swimwear, whatever it is that you've come in to buy. Okay,
because you have. So let's just talk. Let's divert a little bit. I do know that it is you have lingerie, but it's not only lingerie you focus on. You definitely do swimwear, and you do focus on nightwear as well. So tell us about why the addition and not just solely on lingerie.
Because I wanted the woman to be able to come in and it's a one-stop shop. My frustration was going to buy lingerie from one store and then buying swimwear from another store. And then you need nightwear from another store. So it was very confusing. And it's, with the Nigerian traffic and things like that, it can be quite time consuming. So I wanted you to be able to come in and it's a one-stop shop. You can pick everything in regards to intimates for yourself.
So the overall goal is the intimate, which is even for travel and vacation and the wraps and the robes and everything. And now we're seeing also a shift in how innerwear is now becoming outerwear.
Yes.
I know that there've been a lot of the bodysuits and, vice versa, even wearing swimwear for day wear with jeans. And, how are you keeping up with these trends and being able to provide to your customers? How has it affected you in a great way?
So for us, it's important to always be innovative and also bringing out new products. So we're not still in the market.
Exactly.
And we've noticed with the likes of people like Khloe Kardashian, she made the bodysuits very, very popular. To be wearing with jeans, or you can dress it up or dress it down. So I noticed that this is something that definitely could be very practical for our market here. So we have a lot of pieces, bodysuits and swimwears that are versatile, that you can wear to the beach, or you can wear with a nice outfit. Same thing with nightwear as well. A lot of we've had one of our customers that actually walked into the store fully, full nightwear on, and she was when nobody else sees them. So you can dress it up with some heels or some flats, and then just go out for a nice drink, and people are always very intrigued about what you're wearing, and it kicks up conversation. So for us, it's been very important to try and keep that within the industry, within the market in which we serve, and let people understand that your lingerie is not just for underneath.
Or it's not even just something to be kept behind private doors. It is something that you can embrace and kind of help you out there. So let's now talk about the need for another store and the expansion that's coming up, because I see that you've been very successful with one location, and how has it been, and what prompted the decision to open another store?
So for me, it's part of my 5-year expansion plan. It's always been a plan for me to expand. I don't see my store as just a store. I see it as a brand expanding throughout Africa. And what I notice is that there's a lot of places within Nigeria that they are not being served. And Abuja was one of those focal points for me. We had a lot of customers that was coming from Abuja, and they kept saying things like, why don't you have this in Abuja? We really want this in Abuja. So I did my research, and I saw that there is a gap in the market there, and I want to potentially be an industry leader and fill it.
So is that customer, that's a really good point. You are filling the gap and servicing a need of something that is a necessity.
Exactly.
So in your research, have you discovered that the customers' needs are completely different from up north, as opposed to it is in Lagos is a bit more fast-paced, very extremely modern, or is it kind of similar when it comes to things like that? Does location play a part in how you source your pieces?
Yes and no, and the reason why I say that is because I've noticed in Lagos, we're very fast-paced, we're very more open to fashion, and we're more accepting of certain items. Abuja is still very more conservative, and they're not very much out there. But you would be very surprised, because a lot of the customers that I get, they buy most of the risque pieces
So they probably, as opposed to here, we take our innerwear, wear it as outerwear shops, they actually take their innerwear and use it innerwear.
Exactly. So for me, it was like, well, let me capture that market very quickly. And I noticed that a lot of the women that were coming in and requesting for pieces, they were the most dangerous pieces that I have in stock. The more risque pieces that I have in stock. Even husbands that were coming to buy for their wives from Abuja were like, can you please open this up in Abuja? So for me, it was like, this makes perfect sense, because they don't get to show it as much, but underneath all their clothing,
I think it does give you, like you said, that positivity. It still gives them that sense of
that confidence, and it makes them feel like there's a hidden piece about them that nobody really knows, maybe until the midnight hour. And you get to reveal it.
You can reveal it. Expensive stuff. So something that I've not asked before. Where did the name Shh come from?
Okay, so it's really funny, actually. It actually really did come from God. I was in Atlanta, and I was praying, and I was asking God, look, what am I going to call this business? I don't understand. And in my spirit, I heard shh. And it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, well, I'm going to put this together. And he was like, type it into Google. So I typed it into Google, and he was like, no, you're going to spell it with 2 S's and 3 H's. And that was it. And I saw it, and it was like a light bulb. And shush is like discreet, it's like keep quiet.
It's really discreet, it's really intimate, it's really private.
So it ties into what we're doing as well. So it's really about lingerie. Nobody knows what you've got underneath. It's a secret. And then you get to expose it to whomever or keep it to yourself.
That's an amazing thing. Okay, so before we wrap it up, I know that we don't have much time, but I want to tell people how they can get in contact with your brand and how they can shop. I know your social media presence is doing massive things on there, so people can obviously follow along there, but share with the viewers how can they contact you or reach your items to purchase?
Great. So we are social media savvy. We are on Instagram, so you can get us on @Shhh Lingerie, Facebook and Twitter as well. We're currently redeveloping our website at the moment, but it is www.shushboutique.com. Or you can come down to the store at Greenville Mall in Lekki, or visit us at the Ruby Centre in Abuja in about 2 weeks.
In about 2 weeks, she will be there. Joy, it has been an amazing pleasure having you on the show. I'm sure I'm definitely going to have you back when you launch in Abuja. You should come and tell us about the expansion of the brand and everything that's going on. Wish you all the best. We're heading for a really short break right now, but I don't want you to go anywhere because once we come back, I'm going to have Seun, Balogun. She's going to be here, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of the bra size and everything with Undergarments. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Fashion and Beauty Talks on Arise News. I'm Veronica Odeka. My next guest, Seun Balogun, she is the CEO of Brief Essentials, a lingerie line that started in 2011 as an e-commerce business. Today, she'll be answering most of our questions about undergarment and all what it entails. Welcome to the show, Seun.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have you here. You are what I would like to call an educational expert on lingerie and undergarments and everything to do with women. Tell us, how did you get into the business?
Wow. Okay, it was like an aha moment for me. I used to work, so I gave it my second child in 2009. So I was trying to find something to take me back to my shape, get good undergarment, get lingerie. I couldn't find anything. I'm like, this is not good enough.
Yeah.
So I told my husband, he's like, okay, why not let's do something about it? I said, yeah, we should do something about it. So I was at work that day. We were thinking about a name. He just said, why not do Brief Essentials? I gave him a call. He said, Brief Essentials, yeah, that's the name. So we registered, we started putting everything together, and here we go.
And then here you are. I think this is so yours just as well. I see that a lot of women keep saying that frustration drives them. It's more of a need to find that perfect fit. And like you said, you had your child, and then that was the problem that you had. So you are one of the first people that actually launched, I think the first for an e-commerce. Why did you decide to do e-commerce as opposed to having a physical store?
Okay, I had a day job.
Okay.
I was working full time.
Oh wow!
So we needed something, and being a technology person, it was e-commerce. Again, the reach, you can go everywhere. We can deliver to your doorstep. You don't need to come to where we are located. So that e-commerce
was the way to go. Okay, so let's just talk about, there's so many things I want to know about lingerie personally for myself, and of course for my viewers I hope that are watching. One of the first things women should know is, how do you measure and find the right bra size? How is that? Please explain to us. I know you have your little tape room. You're going to show us. So explain to us. Why is it that women don't know to check their bra size?
I think it just baffles me too, because I don't understand why. But maybe because it's something underneath and they often neglect that particular part of themselves. But I think women need to know who they are. Part of knowing that is knowing your breast size. This is something so fundamental. The first thing you put on in the morning, the first thing you have to take overnight. And it makes you feel confident. It's a foundation.
Okay, so show us how to measure. Seun's going to show us how to measure.
There are basically two measurements. It involves some measurement and some maths, basically. So you take the on-the-bust measurement.
Okay.
Which this is a tape I have.
A really easy tape which she's showing us right now.
So you would measure your on-the-bust, like, let's move forward a bit.
There we go.
Make sure the measurement is very tight on the bust.
Under.
Like, it has to be really, really tight. So, like underneath, it needs to be tight.
Okay. Undergarment there.
Yeah, this I have 29.
29.
Okay.
And then the top part.
The top part is the part we call the overbust.
The overbust. So underbust and overbust, guys, if you're watching.
This is, I have about 37.
37.
So that means 29, 37. There's a math involved, really. 27 means I would need to have like some 5 or some digits. My underbust was 29.
Okay.
Yeah, this 37. So I need to have like 4 or 5 digits to get my band.
Okay.
So I'm either a 32 or a 34 band.
Okay.
And then I would deduct the overbust from the underbust.
Okay.
So 37 minus, if I had a 5, I'll be getting 34.
Okay, okay.
So that gives me like a 34C.
Okay.
If I had a 3 or a 4, that I would get like a 32. So then it would give me like a 32D.
Okay.
Now, the challenge is that most of the sizes, when it comes to the band, it needs to be an even number. It is not An odd number.
So an even number, first of all, we're taking measurements for under and over bust, and then of course we need to make sure that it's an even number.
Even number.
Yeah, so at least this is something that people can work with.
Exactly.
You know, let's not get it too complicated. I'm sure they're watching, they're like, hey, let me take my notes. But this is just a really easy way for something. How often should women shop for laundry, for their, or change as often as shop and buy new? Because you could keep it and say, oh, like a blouse, I can wear it forever. But how often should we change?
Okay, it's difficult to say a particular time frame, but you should know the signs of when it no longer fits.
When the wires are poking out.
The wires are poking, the straps cannot stay in place. It keeps wandering, you have to keep adjusting. Then the hooks and at the back, they've worn out. You know, they're not just good enough anymore. Then you can't put your breast in the cups. They keep popping out.
It's time to
So that means, you know, this is gone, literally.
One of the other questions, women change bra sizes from, we get into it when we're teenagers, and then like I said, we've talked about this before. We're going through life and, you know, you're losing weight, or you're in your situation, you're getting pregnant, and so your sizes keep changing, it goes up and down. So that means you should constantly be checking your sizes and have different sizes because of the different needs, right?
Yes, what I would advise is that if you just try to do a fitting regularly, when you put on your bra, it looks like it's not fitting you anymore. You don't have the perfect confidence, or you're not feeling the undergarment.
Yes.
Just know you need to do a fitting, or you change the particular piece you're wearing. It could be that it's one, or you have become smaller or bigger. So whatever
you need to kind of adjust.
You just have to adjust the sizes you're wearing.
Yeah.
Then another mistake most people make is that they think when you're putting on a bra, most of the adjustment should come from the straps.
Oh, it shouldn't.
That's not supposed to be.
Okay.
It should be the band.
Oh.
The band gives up to 80% of the support of a particular bra you're wearing. So people make a mistake when they have the wrong band. If it's too big, they would be they'll try to get support from the straps. So what happens is that you have like what we call the rider problem at the back. You have an hack at the back, like it goes up to form an hack. That means you have a wrong band. You're trying to pull the support from the strap, which is wrong. So when you're buying any bra, make sure that the band is snug. It needs to be tight. It needs to be your size. So there's a rule. If you can put 2 fingers in it, or more than 2 fingers, then it's too big.
Okay.
So you can test your band if it's the right, so just put 2 fingers in it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's really good to know. I know we don't have so much more time, but I definitely want people to know how they can shop your products, how they can contact you if they need to get service or have questions about undergarments and everything concerning that.
Or you can go to briefessentials.com.
Okay.
You can check Brief Essentials out on all our social media platforms, from our Facebook to Instagram.
So it's the same Brief Essentials on the social media,
on Twitter,
everywhere across the board, guys.
Brief Essentials. So just check Brief Essentials.
And then they can contact you directly, and you answer questions and ship everywhere.
And we have a blog
that
answers a lot of questions.
That's on the website?
On the website as well.
That's a fantastic thing to know.
We answer all the questions, keep writing about issues with undergarment, even shapewear, what to wear, not saying, you know, how to pick the perfect size for your boobs, whatever it is.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Seun. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show. Definitely going to have you back on here another time to continue this conversation. That's all from Fashion and Beauty Talks today, everyone.